What's up, Wildcat fans? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com, your home of Struthers basketball all season long, and proud to be a part of that. Coach's Corner with head coach Mike Wernicki, sponsored by WRS Insurance Solutions, who, for all our YSN fans, have picked up the whole ticket for high school fans to watch basketball all season long on YSN, and we're proud of that. But, Coach, first of all, Happy New Year, and thanks for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. Happy New Year to you guys, too. It's hard to believe that we're already, end of this week. It's going to be halfway over through January.
I was just going to ask you that, Coach. That has to, for us and for myself as a coach and being around it, it's exciting to see kids and coaches play and get back into some normalcy. I guess my question for you, how's that been the last couple of weeks? Do you see things getting back to normal a little bit?
You know what? The holidays, when you're coaching, they always fly by because you're either trying to get games in, or you're trying to get guys to their families, but also maximize the practice time because they're not in school. And I mean, it's the best time of the year. No pun intended with the Christmas holiday, but it flies by. And this week kind of gets you. This is the reality week, because now the holidays are over. Kids are back in school, and now the season starts to take shape to some level of consistency to what it's going to look like for the next 8 to 10 weeks. So yes, we are kind of getting into some kind of normalcy now. Every Tuesday, Friday night you're playing, and your days off are set. So this is where the season really starts to, you start to sink your teeth into it, and it starts to move along.
Yeah, it's good to see things get along with Coach Wernicki, Coach's Corner. Struthers Wildcat hoop coach, sponsored by WRS. Coach, I've known you a long time. When I was at Struthers High School, hired Coach Wernicki. There wasn't anybody happier than me to see you become a head coach in the Youngstown area. How has that been for you, I guess? Is it exciting? Is it everything you thought it would be? Talk about your experience going from the college game to a head high school basketball coach.
Well, I mean, first of all, obviously, you and I have had a long relationship, and it's been great. And you've always been a supporter of whatever project I was involved with, and obviously at YSU and now here. And I really appreciate that. That stuff, that means a lot. I didn't have any expectations when I took the job. I had no idea what it was going to entail. And, to be honest with you, there's a lot of things that, I don't want to say you take for granted, but, when you move over, it doesn't matter what level it is. When you move over from an assistant coaching position to a head coaching position, whether it's high school to high school, college to high school, college back down, college to college, it doesn't matter. There's a huge adjustment. And I had to make the same adjustment. I had 21 years of college experience under my belt, all as an assistant, and it prepared me, but there's a lot of things that you just don't see coming. And, it's the day-to-day stuff, the mentality of the kids, the involvement of, your support staff and parents and that kind of stuff. It's all different. And I went in with an open mind and just kind of felt my way through it the first year. And I think I have an understanding now of the way it works. There's a lot of things that are different. The college game takes a lot of time, but to be honest with you, a head coach at the high school level takes even more time.
Sure it does. No question.
There's just so many things that you're responsible for. Yeah. And, I thought, becoming a head coach, I'd finally get away from doing laundry and sweeping floors. And that's what I do more of now than anything else.
That's part of the high school basketball head coaching job. But you know what? You said support staff. I'm going to start with you there. I know you were a great assistant coach for Coach Slocum. You've been a great coach. Now you're a head coach. Talk about your staff a little bit, how important those guys are for you.
Well, I think there's two things when you have a staff that are really important. And as a head coach, and I've had to learn this, I don't want to say the hard way, but I'm still trying to navigate through it. As an assistant coach at the college level, you're so hands-on. And you can never wait and say, oh, somebody else will get that job done. You got to do it yourself. Sure. So I've always lived in that moment of, if there's something that needs to be done, I go and do it. Well, part of becoming successful as a head coach is being able to delegate and have trust in other people that things are going to get done the way, the way they should be done and in a timely manner. So for me, that was one lesson that I had to kind of grow into, and I'm still growing on it. But I've got a tremendous staff. I'm blessed because my whole staff lives within, all of us, including me, we all live within 2 miles of the school. So like getting back and forth is, that's a big deal. And that's not, it's not a problem for any of us at the drop of a hat to run over to the gym, to let somebody in, to, whatever we need. And I've got a lot of years, not me, but of my staff with coaching experience. Chris Cole has been around for a long time. He's had many stops.
That's my guy. Yeah, with the head coach. He was an assistant for me. I went back and helped him. What a quality man. He is a Struthers. Nobody bleeds Struthers more than Coach Cole.
No, that's the thing about my staff. And I don't think we're unique in the area, but I think, like my three assistants, DJ Aldish, obviously Chris Cole, and Jason Pangio, they all went to Struthers. They all live, like I said, within a mile radius of the school, and everything in their lives is somehow surrounded or connected to Struthers. So they're very passionate about our program, about the success of our program, and more importantly, about the overall success and well-being of our kids. And that's why I hired them. I don't need people to, and I don't, this isn't an arrogant statement, but I don't need like a ton of people on staff to say, we need to do this or we need to do that. I need guys that care for the kids. And that's what I hire first as far as what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a staff.
Well, that's a great staff. Hats off to you and all those guys for the work they do. With Coach Wernicki, Coach's Corner, Struthers Wildcats, WRS. Can't say enough about them, Mike, what they do for us at YSN. Before we jump into hoops, from all of us at YSN, we're proud to be a part of Struthers basketball and all athletics there. But there's no better place to watch a basketball game than Struthers Fieldhouse. But I wanted to ask you as a coach and the limited amount of fans and those things at YSN, we're proud that we're able to bring those games to those people that can't come. From your point, from your staff's point, even your kids, how nice has it been to be able to watch other games and watch other teams and maybe get some things that you guys need as a staff?
It's been invaluable, to be honest with you, like over the holidays especially, when everybody was playing on different nights.
Sure.
There were nights that we didn't play that, I'll be honest with you, I probably thumbed through 5 or 6 different games.
Sure.
As the night was going on. And that's so much fun to do. Now that we're playing Tuesday, Fridays, we don't get that opportunity. Maybe if I'm not playing on a Saturday and somebody else is, we can kind of, go back and watch. But, I think what you guys have done, the service that you've provided has been very therapeutic for a lot of people in the Valley. There's people at all schools in all these districts that are so used to this time of the year going to games as a part of, getting through the winter, getting through, this time of the year. And it's a big part of everybody's lives. And now, in addition to all the other things that have been taken away, the ability to go to games has been taken away. Right. So the service that you guys are providing from a mental standpoint to help these people, I know, like, I'm sure the ratings are tremendous.
Yeah, they
because, there's a lot of people, older people that are just saying, hey, you know what, from, 6:30 until 9:30 on a Tuesday and Friday and Saturday, like, I'm able to sit down and watch games, and it's been great. So, from that aspect, it's tremendous. And then, like you said, from a scouting standpoint, I find myself, watching other games that I normally wouldn't watch. But more importantly, it provides something for the kids. The kids are excited that they're on TV. And it's you guys should be applauded for what you're doing.
Well, we appreciate it. We're proud to be a part of you and Struthers. Let's dive in. Talented basketball team, off to a great start, Coach. Talk about some of these guys a little bit. We'll get into this week's action.
Well, I am blessed. I've got a really good group of kids, first and foremost. Most of them have been with me for 3 years now. Our situation may be a little unique, but maybe not in the Valley, where, facility-wise, as wonderful as the field house is, it's a tough place to practice because we only have one floor. It's not like, the seats go back and we've got another court. So we practice together a lot, 9th grade through 12th grade. So, our kids get an opportunity to be together a lot, which is great. But, as far as the kids go, it's a wonderful group of kids. I couldn't be more excited about them as far as people. The basketball part of it is secondary to what they do in the classroom and the community and just the overall character of the kids. That's important for me. One of the things at the college level, everybody's talented, but you're only as good as the character of your kids. And I think that rings true at every level. We've all been associated with teams that were talented that, you might have had some kids that weren't invested or, weren't the best of character and you struggle those years. When you have great kids who are all invested in each other, the talent level can be a little bit lower and you can end up having more success. So I've got a great group of kids first and foremost.
Yeah.
As far as talent goes, yeah, we're lucky. We do have a lot of good players and they've all come up through the program. They're all Struthers guys and they've developed, some of them, are names now, weren't names before. Some of them were, better freshman, 8th grade, 7th grade players and have, kind of maintained that level. But, I've got 3 main returners and Aiden Slocum, my point guard, and then my 2 wings, Trey Metzger and Brandon Washington.
And Coach, before you go, for all the Struthers fans, I will be getting with Coach. We'll do a senior player profile like this with those guys. I look forward to those guys, but those 3 are talented, but not only talented, like you said, great kids.
Yeah, like Trey Metzger's a 4.0 GPA. He's got a 33 on his ACT. I mean, he's number 1 in his class. So those are things that, when you start listing resumes of kids that make me proud when our kids can, take things that are not basketball related and say, this is what I've done and add that to my resume.
Yeah, that's a great group to build around. This Wildcat team, Wildcat Nation, off to a great start. From what I understand, a pretty big basketball game coming up Tuesday night against
I don't know. Is it
Poland Bulldogs? A little bit of a rivalry. We're a part of both schools. Talk about that. Talk about Coach Grisdale's been there a long time, does a great job. Your team is a great thing. We will be there at YSN to cover the game. Talk about this basketball game. Your thoughts a little bit on Poland, Coach.
Well, I'll be honest with you. First and foremost, and we talked about this a little bit this morning. Unfortunately, if with the pandemic, there'd be 3,000 people there tonight or on Tuesday if we weren't going through this.
It's funny to say that because I did Coach Gunther and Coach Palermo earlier. Mooney and Urson played. You feel bad for fans and student bodies that, let's face it, look forward to these games.
No question. I think it's the student body the most.
Sure.
The older people will sit down and take advantage of what you guys are doing and watch it on YSN. And it's the high school kids that are missing out on the fun that goes with a student section and these types of games. But, as far as the game goes, I'm not going to give you any coach stuff. I'm just going to be brutally honest with you.
No.
Poland is, they might be the best team in our district. And I don't say that lightly. This group that Coach Grizz has put together and the way he's developed them has been, it's been not surprising, but it's been, I don't want to say fun to watch, but I know, they had a lot of guys that played fall sports. He did not have a full group of kids in the summer and in the fall. So it's been remarkable the way he's brought this group together. They do a couple things really well. This is the best, and I say this with all sincerity, this is the best offensive rebounding team I've seen since I've been a high school coach. Those kids know who they are. They play well together. They're tough-minded. I think he's doing some things that he did prior to my existence in this rivalry, as far as pressure in the basketball and playing a little bit more up tempo and with the freedom that they play. They're as deep as anybody in the state. I mean, he plays 9, 10, 11, 12 guys. So, I mean, this team is, if we do not play well and better than well, then we won't win this game or the game at Poland. It's as simple as that.
That's what I love about Coach Wernicki, the honesty, and that's one of the things that's important. It's funny you say that, Mike. I was able to do a couple Poland games with DJ, and that's what I noticed. They attacked the backboards extremely well. They passed the ball, I thought, very well. It's going to be a great game. We'll have it on YSN Live on Tuesday night. We look forward to that. Coach, I appreciate all you do and look forward to many weekly conversations, but to let you go before we close it, what's the key to a victory for the Struthers Wildcats on Tuesday night?
Well, there's a couple things. Number one, like I said, we have to keep them off the offensive glass. If we don't, then we're not going to win, because what ends up happening is when teams get to the glass like they do, then you end up putting them at the foul line, and they shoot, mid-20s foul shot attempts a game.
Right.
In tight games, you just can't give up that many free throw opportunities.
Sure.
We have to handle their pressure, and we have to be tough. They're a tough group, and they play really, really well together. And, this is a group that, in the past, he's had probably arguably the best player on his team in the area. From year to year, he had 3 really good players last year with Cougars and the Chasm Twins. Now they don't have that name guy. They just got a lot of guys that play great together. And that's what they come at you at waves, and it's going to be a great basketball game. But this team, like I said, they might not lose again the rest of the year.
Well, I look forward to. I'm gonna sneak on over, hopefully myself, on Tuesday night to check it out. Coach, best of luck to the Wildcats and your staff. Tell Coach Cole, obviously,
I will.
Hello, and look forward to seeing you Tuesday night. And go have a good game, and we'll talk again next week.
No, I appreciate the opportunity, and again, I really do thank you guys. There's a lot of basketball people in the area that has have been affected now without the ability to go to games, and what you're doing is really giving a service to a lot of people in the area. So thank you, and we'll talk again soon.
All righty, Coach. Have a good day.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.